Overconsumption has genuinely become a very big problem in today's economy, and there are a lot of things that attribute to it, but the main problem here is like TikTok and people using TikTok, or like okay, you'll go on TikTok, you'll watch a video like maybe, I don't know, a millennial or a Gen Z woman or something. Sometimes it's men too. And these people are basically just buying shit and then using it like once, and then they're never gonna use it again. Like for example, I've seen a lot of videos where someone is restocking her stuff, where basically she takes like food and shit out of containers and then puts it in more plastic containers. So you're taking it out of plastic just to put it in more plastic because you think it looks aesthetic, which in my opinion is total bullshit. Because why on the fucking earth are you taking Peeps out of packages just to put it in a aesthetic container? Like, you're not even bringing it to lunch, you're just putting it there because you can. You are taking all this time and money just to make your things look aesthetic, which is very dumb. And before everyone attacks me in the comments saying they can do whatever with their money, it's theirs, that doesn't change the fact that they're probably just doing this for content and they're never going to use it again. And it's a lot of plastic, and even if they do end up using it, it's gonna deteriorate at some point. Because in a few years, they're either the trend is gonna be over and they're gonna throw it away, or even if they keep it for years, when they turn old and die, because yeah, everyone turns old and dies. And please don't let this become vintage. It's all just genuinely very dumb to spend all your money on things like makeup and stuff like that. Also, that one phone case that holds lip gloss is genuinely so fucking dumb. The next problem is that consumption is not avoidable. You have to consume at some point. Consumption is always bad, but the problem with these people specifically is that they're buying too many at the same time. You don't need 50 claw clips. You just need one so you can keep your fucking hair back. You can keep 2 in case you lose your first one, but you don't really need that much. And it's just gross, in my opinion. Look, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your money, but that doesn't change the fact that you're spending money on useless things when you can be helping people. But wait, there's more. These people are inflicting this shit onto their kids, which makes them materialistic, and they're also gonna waste their parents' money. That's why there's a lot of iPad kids and Sephora kids, because you know what? Half of the time it's not even their fault. It's usually because they don't know any better, because their stupid fucking parents will not raise their fucking children. There are fucking restaurants where instead of getting the color menu, because you know how when you were a kid you get the coloring menu and you can do the mazes or whatever and then circle whatever you wanted to order, because that's what I had as a child. But now some restaurants have iPad holders, so not only is your kid probably going to get bullied because they don't want an iPad or something, Even the restaurants are expecting for you to buy them an iPad because they don't want you to take care of your children as long as it saves them money. Because they're fine with not having to mass produce their coloring things when that is a childhood for a lot of people. And they're taking this away from a lot of kids that really need it, by the way. And you might be wondering, oh, well, Rose, why don't they want to mass produce this shit? Well, it's because of money. They don't care about anything but money. And it's honestly gross. But that's companies for you. They will mass produce anything until it costs a lot of money or until there is a cheaper option, even when it causes other people misery. Because they don't actually care about kids. I don't care how good the company is, how amazing their products are, because you know what? They don't care about the kids. They don't care about your kids. And they never will. I mean, there can be some good companies out there, but it's very rare, so I'd say don't put too much trust in some of them because they're not all that good. Some of them are very disgusting when it comes to this. And they don't care how much hate they get because as long as it saves them money, they'll do it. That's more consumerism. Another problem is the vast use of AI. There is a lot of AI and on a lot of platforms like YouTube, Pinterest. Sometimes people on Discord will send me shit that was made by AI. And honestly, it's just very bad in general. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to make art. That's fine, but just don't make it. You don't need to hurt the planet just because you're butthurt about not being able to do it. Because bitch, you're not tricking anyone. AI sucks. Even if it has good graphics, it's usually very obvious just because of how oversaturated it is. And honestly, this is kind of sad because there are a lot of real artists that could make good art that has the same style, but AI ruined it and now everyone will think your art is AI. And it's honestly very sad because that artist did nothing and then stupid people on the internet ruined it for them because they can't keep their fucking hands to themselves. They can't keep their hands on their own art. I don't care how shitty your art is because you know what? Most animators used to make little My Little Pony animations or dumb or very cringy animation memes, but you know what? That's how most people started. And then they became some of the most talented animators out there. You can't do it if you don't try. That's the whole point of art. Art is human creativity, not robots stealing a bunch of styles together and calling it a day. Okay? And I know this is gonna hurt your feelings, but art takes years to master. Even with tutorials, it can be fucking hard. Because sometimes you might not pick up everything, and that's okay. Because famous artists like Leonardo da Vinci, people like him, they started out terribly, like fucking terrible. But then it turns great. And you start feeling like you might actually be having fun. Look, this shit is how my art used to look like. But now it looks more like this. So, in conclusion, don't buy shit you're not gonna use. try to avoid buying too much if you ever do buy something, and support real artists like actors, visual artists, and musicians. Because AI can do it, but artists can do it better. Well, that's all for today's video, my beautiful sunshines. Please subscribe because I'm flopping right now. And don't be afraid to call people out if they are consuming too much, because we need to stop that.